Hello, I'm Jeff Byers, and I'll be taking you through how to import a object in Marmoset and light it and render it. So let's go ahead and get your file imported. So go to File, Import, Model. Click on your model that you'd like to import, and you can hold down the Alt key and the left mouse button, and you can rotate and move around. It's got the same functionality, navigation as Maya, so you'll probably feel right at home if you use Maya. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to start adding textures, but I want to show you some of the functions in here so you can see where things are at. If you want to add lights or objects, you can just go to Scene, Add Objects, Light, Camera, Fog, Sky, and you can do turntable in here. So that's how you can add a light or cameras or anything else you want in there. If we go to under the scene, we've got the render, which we can click on wireframe. We also have shadows and global illumination you can add, and you can actually add the watermark in the corner if you'd like to. So these things are all in under render. And we've got the main camera, and we've got depth of field, field of view. We've got some different types of effects that you can put into the camera. We've got bloom and vignette. That's all under camera, and then we got the sky, which we're going to talk about now. So the sky, we want something that's more neutral. So right now, this one's a little too dark. So I'm going to go into presets, and I've already got one in mind. I'm going to do the Uffizi gallery. Uffizi? I don't know. However you want to pronounce it. And if you hold the shift key and the left mouse button, you can rotate the scenery. If you want to see it, then we can go into let's see here. Where is that? Oh. Mode. Go into sky. There we go. So now I can hold the shift key down and rotate that around. And normally you would want to make sure that your light is facing your object, wherever the light source is kind of where you want your light source. You want it to be pointing towards your object. Okay, so it looks like we got two spots that light is entering, and you can see in here in the preview that we got light above and the buildings are around it, and we do have two openings where the light is coming through. You just pick which one you like, and I usually turn that off. I usually go to more of a color. So under next to mode, if you click on color, you can go ahead and change the color on there. Right, go ahead and click done on that. So we've kind of got the sky where we want it. Now we need to open up or add a material. So I'm going to click on that little plus sign, add new material. Let's double click on that, and we'll call this stop sign. Okay, and hit enter. Okay, so after we create the material, now we're going to have to apply it. So let's go ahead and click on it, and with the left mouse button, drag and drop it. And now we got the new material on there. So let's go ahead and right click over the normal map under surface, and let's click on normal map and open that, and you can see that it automatically imports that in right away. So check it out, make sure your normal map looks pretty good. And then we can go to microsurface. This is where we're going to put our gloss map. That looks good. And you can see if we take off the normal map that we have the gloss map on there, and it's working really well. Okay, and the next thing we got is the albedo map. There we go. That looks really good. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the normal channel so we get the full effect. Alright, so that's how you can import all your objects in. So we're going to add another light source in here. So I'm going to go to Scene, Add Objects, and Light. And it brings in a, looks like a spotlight. And you can raise that up and get that positioned. It is a little bit strange, the lighting system and stuff in here, but you can get used to it, I guess. There we go. The whole idea is just to kind of get a light that will give you a nice specular highlight on the object without it being too bright. We want to show off the specularity, and you can see that's working really well. You can turn down the glassiness of your object too if you'd like. You can also invert to get a different effect if you need to. So we'll kind of just bring it down just a bit. There we go. And maybe something like that. Get a perspective. Alright, then we need to set up. If you're ready for setting up, if you want to add a wireframe on that, you can over the top of the object, and you can just click under Scene, and we're going to go in here and go to black, and we're going to set that up to something like 10, although going over 1 really doesn't do anything. So there's our low poly, and then we've got you can add ambient occlusion to it if you want to, and I'm not going to do that, or global illumination, brightness of the object. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do, and right now we're just going to keep it pretty simple. So to show off our object. And at this point you can probably find things you could probably tweak in Maya. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a capture. Let's go ahead and click on settings, and here's some things in here that I want to change. I want to go from 16x to 25. The size is fine. The format I'm going to change to TGA, Targa, and that looks good. Let's see what else we want to do. Let's save the scene as and put it in the source images folder. So go ahead and save your scene. I'll put in test scene. Okay, it's going to save to my flash drive. And then let's go ahead and just hit F11, and we'll do a couple of those. So F11 just kind of takes a snapshot. I'm going to do a front view of this, zoom in a little bit, something like that. F11, and then we'll go to the back. And you will probably want to add a light to the back, so I'm just going to go ahead and select this guy and duplicate it and move it back like that, and then rotate it around and down like that. There we go. Okay, and so we get the right angle. We'll do a far away one. And we'll do an F11. And then we'll get up close again. Alright, so that looks good. F11. Okay, so I would recommend that you bring all your images, all the screenshots that you do of the renders of your objects into Photoshop and finalize it, change levels, do a color balance. That'll help make this a little more vibrant. It looks a little flat to me, so I would probably bring it in and do some changes in Photoshop. So anyway, that's how you can move around in Marmoset, and I wish you best of luck in getting all your stuff looking good.